While you were sleeping, major breaking news. The Bengals duo of wide receivers received it with new 4-year contract extensions. Ja'Marr Chase, $161 million, 112 of that guaranteed. T. Higgins, $115 million, the first 2 years guaranteed. Ja'Marr Chase's average of $40.25 million makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history.
Breaking news in a CBS Sports HQ where Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins are both getting paid. The Bengals agreeing to contract extensions with their 2-star wide receivers. Chase's deal is for 4 years, $161 million, which will make him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Higgins staying put as wide receiver number 2. It's 4 years, $115 for T.
All right, Colin, let's start with the Cincinnati Bengals. Big week for them. They extended Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins, making both of them 2 of the highest paid receivers in the NFL. Joe Burrow, we know, campaigned big time for both of his guys, and now they're staying, and he's thrilled. Burrow said, "We're paying the right guys."
The Bengals broke the bank twice. Ja'Marr Chase got a 4-year, $161 million extension, resetting the market not just for receivers, but for all non-quarterbacks at an eye-popping $40.25 million per year. And if that wasn't enough, also locked up T. Higgins on a 4-year, $115 million deal after franchise tagging him 2 years in a row. Higgins is one of the best number 2 receivers in the game and deserves every penny. Seems like a dream scenario for Joe Burrow, right? Well, there's a bit of a problem. Here's the thing, Cincinnati probably waited too long on Higgins. Instead of paying him now, they could have traded him last year for valuable draft picks, which would have helped rebuild their struggling defense. With teams desperate for wide receiver help, the Bengals might have gotten multiple draft picks, including maybe a few second-rounders, and used them on much-needed defensive upgrades. But now they're locked into 2 massive contracts at wide receiver and still have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. By committing a combined $276 million to Chase and Higgins, the Bengals are making sure their offense stays dangerous. But what about their defense? Last year, Cincinnati already had one of the worst defensive units in the NFL. They ranked bottom 10 in total defense and struggled to get stops when it mattered. And now their best defensive player might be gone. Before Chase and Higgins even got their money, Trey Hendrickson demanded a trade. The Bengals star pass rusher just led the NFL in sacks with 17.5, but with Chase and Higgins locked in, there's almost no way Cincy can afford it. Losing Hendrickson would be a major blow to an already struggling defense, and unless the Bengals find an elite pass rusher in the draft or free agency, which is going to be hard since free agency is pretty much over, they will most likely have more serious problems stopping teams next year. Cincinnati is clearly all on offense. They're betting that Burrow, Chase, and Higgins can just simply outscore their opponents. But that strategy hasn't worked in the past for teams that ignore defense. And let's not forget, Burrow has already had some injuries as well, missing time back in 2022. If he goes down, suddenly this massive investment in Chase and Higgins could look like a disaster. So did the Bengals make the right move? It's a huge gamble. They have the best wide receiver duo in the league locked up, but at the cost of potentially losing their best defensive player. If the defense doesn't improve and Burrow takes too many hits, this could be a massive mistake. But if Chase and Healthy can dominate and Burrow stays healthy, this could be a Super Bowl caliber team. Either way, the Bengals just bet their future on this decision. What do you think? Did the Bengals make the right move paying both Chase and Higgins? Let me know in the comments.